Did you know a whopping 40% of our daily activities are driven by habits, not conscious decisions? Yes, you heard it right, folks. Nearly half of what we do every day, we do without even thinking about it. It's almost as if we're on autopilot. But what exactly is a habit? In simple terms, a habit is a routine or behavior that is performed regularly and in many cases, automatically. These are actions so ingrained in our daily routines that we often don't even realize we're doing them. They can be as simple as brushing your teeth in the morning or as complex as driving a car. Habits form through a process called habituation. It's a learning process where our brain starts to automate repetitive tasks to save energy. At first, we consciously perform these tasks, but over time, as we repeat them, our brain starts to recognize a pattern. It then slowly shifts these actions into an automatic mode, freeing up mental resources for other tasks. Now, why is this important? Because habits, whether good or bad, have a profound impact on our lives. They shape our health, productivity, happiness, and even our overall well-being. Our habits can make us or break us. They can lead us to success or failure. Understanding the power of habits can be a game changer for self-improvement. By recognizing the habits that serve us and those that don't, we can consciously choose to cultivate positive habits and discard the negative ones. Imagine being able to program your life with habits that lead to success, health, and happiness. The possibilities are endless. It's like being the architect of your life, designing and building a structure that serves you best. So if habits play such a dominant role in our lives, isn't it worth using them to our advantage? Now imagine if we could harness the power of these habits and use them to improve our lives. That's where atomic habits come in. Atomic habits, a term coined by James Clear, are the tiny, almost unnoticeable changes we can make in our daily lives that, over time, yield significant results. They are the building blocks of larger habits, the small steps on the road to big changes. Think of it this way. If you were to improve by just 1% each day, by the end of the year, you'd be 37 times better than when you started. That's the power of atomic habits. But how do these atomic habits work, you might ask? It's all rooted in the science of how our brains form and maintain habits. Habits, both big and small, are formed through a four-step process: cue, craving, response, and reward. Let's take the habit of brushing your teeth. The cue might be finishing your last meal of the day. This triggers a craving to clean your mouth, leading to the response, which is brushing your teeth. Finally, the reward is the fresh, clean feeling in your mouth. This cycle reinforces the habit, making it automatic over time. Atomic habits work the same way. The key is to make the cue obvious, the craving attractive, the response easy, and the reward satisfying. Let's consider a simple atomic habit like drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. The cue could be waking up. The craving is to start the day refreshed. The response is to drink the water, and the reward is feeling hydrated and awake. It's a small change, but done consistently, it can lead to significant improvements in hydration levels, skin health, and overall well-being. So remember, atomic habits are about making small, consistent changes. They're the 1% improvements that seem insignificant at first, but compound over time to yield significant results. When it comes to atomic habits, it's not about making big changes, but about making small changes consistently. It might sound too good to be true, so let's delve into some real-life examples. Let's start with the story of a man named Jim Sinegal. He's not a household name, but you've probably heard of the company he co-founded, Costco. Sinegal's atomic habit? He made a point to walk the floor of a different Costco location every single day. Why? To observe, engage, and understand both his employees and customers better. This simple daily habit allowed him to make small incremental improvements that eventually turned Costco into a multi-billion-dollar business. Now let's shift gears and look at the world of sports. Consider the story of Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time. His coach, Bob Bowman, helped him develop a set of atomic habits that guided his training. One of these was visualizing the perfect race every night before bed and every morning when he woke up. This constant mental rehearsal made the actual races feel like just another practice. The result? A record-shattering 23 Olympic gold medals. But atomic habits aren't just for business tycoons and sports stars. They can work for anyone. Take the example of Sarah, a single mother working 2 jobs. She had always dreamed of going back to school to complete her degree, but never found the time. So she started a simple atomic habit. Every night after her kids went to bed, she would study for just 15 minutes. It wasn't much, but it was a start. Over time, these 15 minutes became 30, then an hour, and before she knew it, she was enrolled in a part-time degree program. Today, Sarah holds a bachelor's degree in business administration. And how about the story of Mark, a writer suffering from a chronic writer's block? He decided to start an atomic habit of writing just one sentence a day. Some days that's all he wrote. But on others, one sentence would flow into a paragraph, a page, a chapter. Mark went from struggling to write anything to completing his first novel in just over a year. And then there's Lisa, a woman who struggled with her weight for most of her life. She started an atomic habit of walking just 5 minutes a day. Over time, she gradually increased this until she was walking for an hour a day. Combined with healthier eating habits, Lisa managed to lose over 50 pounds in a year. These stories show that anyone, regardless of their starting point, can use atomic habits to achieve extraordinary results. Inspired? Great. The time to start is now. Beginning your atomic habit journey may seem like a monumental task, but remember, even the mightiest of oaks grow from tiny acorns. You can start small, and that's the beauty of atomic habits. They are so minute, so tiny, that sometimes you won't even realize you're cultivating them. Firstly, you need to identify a habit that you'd like to develop. This could be anything from drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning to taking a 5-minute walk after dinner. The key is to choose something that aligns with your personal goals and aspirations. Once you've identified your habit, it's time to integrate it into your daily routine. This is where the real magic happens. The trick here is to attach your new habit to an existing routine. This is known as habit stacking. For example, if you want to develop the habit of reading, you can stack it with your morning coffee routine. So every morning as you sip your coffee, you read a page or two. You'll be surprised how quickly this becomes second nature. But what happens if you miss a day? Don't fret. Consistency, not perfection, is the key to forming atomic habits. If you miss a day, don't let it derail you. Instead, get back on track the very next day. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. Finally, celebrate your small victories. Each time you successfully carry out your atomic habit, give yourself a pat on the back. This encourages positive reinforcement and makes it more likely you'll stick with your new habit. Starting your atomic habit journey is not about making a huge, sweeping change overnight. It's about making small, incremental changes that add up over time. It's about showing up for yourself every day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, so take that step today and start your journey of transformation through atomic habits. To recap, habits are a powerful force in our lives. Atomic habits give us a way to harness this force for our benefit. As we've explored in this journey together, small changes can yield big results. It's not about making a drastic overnight transformation, but rather, it's about the gradual, consistent efforts that compound over time. We've heard inspiring success stories, tales of people just like us who've harnessed the power of atomic habits to create profound changes in their lives. It's not magic, it's science, and the best part is it's accessible to all of us. Getting started is as simple as identifying a small behavior to change or a new one to adopt, and then repeating it consistently. Atomic habits are not about the size of the change, but the repetition and consistency. So don't wait for tomorrow. Start building your atomic habits today and watch how they transform your life.